Malaki, in terms of what you expect to see at the end of this conference, what are the things, if you were to have a crystal ball, what would you expect to see at the end of this conference?
Well, whether we like it or not, the factual situation in the country today will force most of those issues. The issue of security will be one of those, because we've never had it this bad, where you record hundreds, 200 in quick succession. I expect that the people will be able to deal with the question of citizenship, like I mentioned. I imagine that people will be concerned about the need, the urgency for effective federalism, as distinct from fiscal federalism. The one deals with the structure of government, the other speaks to the economic distribution of the collective wealth of the nation. I also expect, as we are bound to do, that the conference will not shy away from the core question of state policing, or the nature, or that can also be subsumed under security, and so on and so forth. But by far more important to me is how do we ensure that we don't end up as though we did nothing, because that has been our experience with the previous conferences that I mentioned. I would imagine that the presidency will begin to think faster than they have been doing in the previous one, because if, as I imagine, the preponderance of views will tilt in favor of referring the outcome of this conference to a referendum, it will mean that technically we will be at the verge of curing one of the major mistakes for which this conference is convoked in the first place, and that is the question of legitimacy. We have a legal document, but an illegitimate document. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, is a legal document. That is a constitution, but it is illegitimate. Why? Because it lacked the participatory input that legitimizes a constitution as an organic body of laws that regulates our affairs. So if you ask me, I would say the presidency should do more by beginning to get ready too. As the conference is progressing, they will also be getting ready for an executive bill that will effectively introduce the outcome of this conference after a referendum to the National Assembly for the passage.
Sorry.